and welcome into my top 5 running backs for fantasy football for the year of 2023. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Number 1 is Najee Harris. Even in the preseason, we're seeing a 70-30 split per Dwayne McFarland. Make sure you follow him on Twitter for Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. I love the Jaylen Warren truthers out there. I think Jaylen Warren is a fine player. He's absolutely a great compliment to Najee Harris, but he's not taking over this backfield anytime soon. I've been a Steelers fan my whole life. As much as I would love for them to change sometimes and do things like draft awesome mobile quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson instead of Mason Rudolph, it's just not what they do. They draft second-day quarterbacks, they draft safeties that they probably shouldn't in the first round, and they run workhorse running backs into the ground, and that's what they're going to do with Najee Harris. Najee's going to Najee, Steelers are going to Steeler. He's an absolute steal at his ADP. He's been a top 10 running back. Even when he was hurt last year, he was still top 12. I don't foresee any way with the upgrade at the offensive line, with the offensive progression that we're expecting from Kenny Pickett, and from just Najee Harris being healthy, that he's not going to return to his top 5 numbers that he produced in his rookie season. And I would even say that he could potentially have a true breakout and emerge as the number 1 running back on the year, kind of like what we saw with Josh Jacobs last year.
Hey, Spike, how about we chase cars, huh? Does that sound like fun?
Number 2 for me is going to be Aaron Jones. I feel like Aaron Jones's value has been deflated based on the enigma that is Jordan Love. I think there's just still a lot of people out there that have doubts about Jordan Love and what kind of quarterback that he can be. I have banged the table all offseason, all preseason. I'll do it all regular season for Jordan Love. He's going to be, at the very minimum to me, a good NFL quarterback. That's what the Packers do. They find and they draft good NFL quarterbacks. Even going back to the days of Lynn Dickey and Don Majkowski, they've always had serviceable starters that last above 5 years for the most part. And the guys that weren't that were Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So to me, Jordan Love is a smash play, and thereby Aaron Jones is still an absolute steal at his ADP, and I don't foresee any way that he's not going to be involved in this offense. I see him as being like the only veteran pass catcher out of the backfield. So he's definitely a smash pick for me as my RB2 in almost every format.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Number 3. I'm basically out on the Arizona Cardinals this year. Like, I just don't see it happening for them. I think that you can take the chance if you really want to, but I foresee Arizona finishing as last in the entire NFL. The only player that I'm willing to invest in is James Conner, because to me, James Conner is the only game in town. Obviously, he's going to have rushing volume. I think Keontae Ingram could be maybe a fine backup, but I don't foresee him pushing for that starting job anytime soon. And of course, James Conner has shown a propensity to excel in the passing game. So to me, James Conner is a smash pick. Even when Kyler Murray wasn't playing, James Conner was highly effective. And at his ADP where he's going, he's definitely going to be able to outproduce that ADP in my estimation, barring injury, of course, and provide a big return on value as your RB2, RB3. Number 4 for me is going to be James Cook. The Buffalo Bills have not had a 1,000-yard receiver in something like 5 years. I believe James Cook is going to crack 1,000 yards for them. And what I like about James Cook is that he's a very efficient player. Damian Harris doesn't make me nervous at all. Even in Damian Harris's best year, he only had 202 carries. So to me, I think James Cook is the clear leader in this backfield. I could see him easily carrying the ball 200 times. But I also think that he's an explosive asset potentially in the passing game. The Buffalo Bills have talked about Josh Allen running the ball a little bit less. I think part of that is going to be acknowledging and, knowing when to use James Cook in the passing game in dump-offs as opposed to always running the ball, especially in between the 20s. And so that added passing volume, if you give him 150 to 200 carries and that, extra bit of juice with 50 to 70 targets, I think James Cook could have an absolutely explosive season. And at his ADP, he's definitely a value that I'm trying to get a lot more of in drafts, because he's someone that I've kind of, I've risen on him more and more as the offseason and preseason has progressed, since they haven't been able or haven't really opted to sign any other running backs. It tells me that they really believe in James Cook as their primary running back.
Boom, shakalaka, turtle.
And finally, at number 5, Tank Bigsby is playing like a big boy Tank because he's just having a strong preseason. He is running really, really well, and I think he's likely secured his role as the Thunder to Travis Etienne's Lightning. To me, this is going to be a 1-2 punch, a little bit more of a 60-40 to 50-50 split. And, I don't like to project for injury, but God forbid if anything were to happen to Travis Etienne, which we have seen in the past, whether it was a minor injury that he kind of worked through last year or the major injury that cost him his rookie season, if anything happens to Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, to me, walks right into that number 1 job. And when you're looking for that late round draft value, that's the kind of players that you're looking for. And Tank Bigsby right now, still going in those late double-digit rounds where you can pretty much get him at the end of your draft. And, in some leagues, in smaller leagues like 10-man, you might even be able to get him for free off waivers after the draft has run. Those are my top 5 running backs that I'm targeting in this year's draft. Thank you so much for following me. Please go like and subscribe and share the video. It always helps. And catch you on the flip side.